Hi, my name is Newell Davis with World Composting, and we're going to do an update of our bin that has the wood pellets in it. So these are hardwood pellets that I bought at Lowe's. They are supposed to be all natural, it's supposed to be hardwood, no additives. So I put some in a bin, I wet them a week ago, and I've been adding some food, but let's take a look and see if the worms have moved into the bedding at all or if they're just still in the top section. So let's go to the bin here. All right, let's take a look. Now, I have been adding food, as I said. So first off, the lid here. Let's see if we can zoom out a little bit here. The lid is quite wet, so there's enough moisture in here, I think. So as you can see, I've added a lot of coffee grounds to the bin. Worms have moved into those pretty well. I'm pretty good about throwing them upside down and not keeping them right side up, which I've done multiple times where I've thrown them in, they end up like this, and then they take a while to break down. But these look pretty good. There was some celery in here that they're eating through. You can see there's tons of worms in this top section. They look nice and healthy now. They were pretty weak, I feel, before, but they look much healthier than when I threw them in. Now, as far as the bedding material, let's just dig down in here to this center section a little bit. Let's just take a look here. All right, it's a little dry, but this has all come apart. It's basically very... Move this out of the way. I mean, you can tell it's just a dust type material. It's not really solid in any way anymore now that it's been wet. So as you can see in here, so I'm just going to kind of try to mix this in a little bit. So I might need a little bit more water too. It feels a little dry in here. This is definitely dry on the bottom. This is still, there's still pellets down here even a little bit. They're a little damp, but not too damp. Let's just turn this over a little bit, kind of mix it up. And we're going to spray it down with some water. I've got my sprayer over here, the one that I've had in one of my other videos. We're just going to try to mix this up though here. Let's just... So you can tell there's a lot of sawdust in here from these pellets. Very little odor to actually no odor at all, I feel, compared to some of my other bins. Now, definitely they're expanding, but they're not quite, some of them are not quite there yet compared to like this pellet right here, which is just disintegrating apart. Now, I've had a bunch of people say, oh my gosh, why would you buy stuff to put in a bin? This is just a test for those people that have like sawdust and things like that. This is not meant to be something that I'm going to purchase regularly. In fact, I'd try not to purchase anything regularly for my worms. It should all come naturally, except for like a bin that you buy every once in a while or something like that. I prefer to have everything sort of naturally be there, not something I have to constantly purchase. So here you go. Here's my sprayer here. I'm just going to spray this down a little bit. Get a little bit more moisture in here. It looked like it was moist enough, but apparently not, and this bottom is pretty dry. You've got these pellets in here like this that you spray them down, you get them wet, and they start to expand and fall apart even more. So here's a pellet that almost looks like it hasn't come apart at all, so we're going to get this one wet. And really, the other reason why you might want to do this is, let's say you're somebody that actually buys a lot of pellets. Let's say you buy, a pallet of pellets every year, and you're like, all right, I've got my pallet, and you have it sitting out in an area that's supposed to be dry, and the bag on the bottom gets wet. Well, this gives you something to do with it. You can't throw it in your fire pit anymore, or your pellet stove. So you're going to need to do something with it. This tells you something else you can do. It's going to break down nicely in these bins, hopefully, is what I'm hoping for. So this is just a test, and for those that have stuff like this, it's a test to see what you can use. So, maybe you also need a little bit of extra bedding material that can soak up moisture. Maybe these would work really well for that if you have like a lot of moisture in your bin. You can throw in some of these pellets and it'll soak up the moisture really well and keep it from being overly wet. I mean, if you can't tell, this bin on the bottom was very, very dry. I'm going to just dig in here and spray down a little bit more, try to get some more moisture in here. After all, worms do breathe through their skin, so they need moisture. Now, what is interesting is I'm seeing when I spray this, let's just see if I can put a handful in here. It seems to really shrink down quite a bit once it's expanded. It seems to compress down a little bit more. So it might not be as light as airy once you get it really wet. So I'm just going to keep adding some more moisture in here. I think this might be pretty good though. And we're going to keep going. I'm going to keep adding food to this. I'm going to keep this going for a while and see how it works, see if we have to add more bedding with these pellets at some point. I'm not going to add any cardboard to this one. I have You know, as I said, I bought one big bag of pellets. I don't actually have a pellet stove. This was a recommendation as a sawdust substitute, I saw some people saying. So this is just a sample run for everyone to see how this works. So that's my update for this week. So far, it looks like it's pretty good. The worms look very healthy. And, you know, the pellets are definitely starting to come apart, but no worms really moved into them yet. So now they're sort of forced to. They're going to have to mix in there. As you can tell, we've got, you know, they're sort of covered now with some of the sawdust, and hopefully it'll start breaking down a little bit more with the compost sort of mixed in and the coffee grounds. I will probably continue to add more coffee grounds onto the top like I have been doing. We'll see how that works. I find that coffee grounds are something I have every day. I'll probably try to add in some more food later, but I probably won't record it. So that's my update for this week. Please like and share and subscribe to my videos, and thank you very much.